Hello. Hey. How are y'all? What is up? What is up? I'm just making sure. Okay, perfect. Everything looks great on my end. Hey, y'all. How are y'all? How are things? How are y'all? How are things? I am Cornisha. I'm a life coach and a business coach. I coach my clients through managing their lifestyles, finances, and business operations so that they can attain six figures working from home. Um, of course, if y'all are new to me, hello and welcome. A little bit of a background on myself. I come from lending. I was a finance manager for about 3 years, and it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about business. It taught me a lot about operations. It taught me about account management. And that's what I guess fueled the fire as far as wanting to get into business. Prior to that, I was a licensed cosmetologist. So business has always been in me, okay? Business has always been in me. It's always been a part of me. Even as a child, I went to an entrepreneurship summer camp. So this thing is like so deep when it comes to me personally. And that's why I'm an online life and business coach today. Also, as far as being a life and business coach, I've learned who you are in your life is who you will be in your business. The same person that makes those hard decisions for your life, the hard pivotal decisions, that's the same person that's going to do it for your business. And what I've also realized, that's why a lot of folks don't like business. That's why a lot of folks are like, entrepreneurship isn't for me, because they know for sure if they're not disciplined in their lives, they're not going to be disciplined for a business. If they're not disciplined or structured in their character, they're not going to be structured in their business. If they're egotistical as a person, that same egotistical person is going to run the business. So that's why corporate and working is just a safe zone for a lot of people, and that's absolutely okay. I know some of the things that I share with my clients, some of the transformations I help them receive, they wouldn't get if it wasn't for me having that corporate experience. And truly, when it comes to business coaching, most people think it's cliche, but business coaching is essentially that corporate manager, that district director. It's the same thing. They sit on the sidelines and call the plays to help you elevate in your business. Ideally, that's all business coaching is. So, again, like I say, I've done finance management, account management. Of course, I sold $4,000 products. The products I sold were up to $4,000. And I had monthly quotas. I had to break that down into daily goals, and I had to answer to those goals every single day. So I'm sharing this with you guys just to reassure you that as a coach, I'm qualified. I'm more than qualified. And having that background is why I love coaching. Having that background is why I'm excited to be a coach, because I know for sure I have the knowledge to get my clients where they want to be. Um, so, in all of that, I'm really popping in just to share insight and takeaways of business coaching, and to also spread the word that who you are in your life is who you will be in your business. And a lot of people negate that. They negate that. Think about it. As we start our businesses, we're like, I want to know what the name of my business is going to be. I wonder what the product, like they focus on the name, they focus on the products, they check off the list. However, as a life coach, I know for sure if you're not disciplined, if you're not structured, if you don't regulate your decision making on a personal level, business is going to come so hard to you. It's going to come so hard to you. And that's speaking from experience. And now, as a full-time online coach, I definitely, if I'm not grounded in my personal life, I'm not going to be grounded in my business. And even working my corporate job, if I wasn't grounded in my personal life, my business success would suck. Excuse my French, but that's just the way it is. And that's why entrepreneurship can be an uphill battle for a lot of people, simply because they don't start at the baseline. They don't start at the baseline. And the baseline of entrepreneurship is your life. It's your character. It's who you are. And unless you're willing to go all in on developing yourself as a person, it's gonna come hard. It is going to come hard. In the event that you guys missed my live, I went live on Instagram yesterday. So if you don't have me on Instagram, of course, go ahead and follow me. My name on Instagram is Cornisha the Coach. Cornisha the Coach. And on Instagram, I spoke a little bit about finances. Who you are in your finances is who you are in your personal life. It's a direct reflection of who you are at your core. And that's why it's important for us to start with our core. We have to start with who we are. We have to start with our lives and develop our character so that we can actually grow in the business, so that we can actually sell in the business. This week actually has been like a really busy week for me. I've coached clients. I've worked on the back end of the business. I've made hard business decisions for the next quarter and a half that we have left in this year. So in all of that, I've had a lot of business conversations lately. I've had tons of business conversations lately. And in those conversations, I've realized a lot of the fear of entrepreneurs, the fear of these companies, the fear of the business owners are simply lack of confidence. The baseline of the fear is a lack of confidence. And that is also why life coaching is needed. Business coaching is needed. And you can have all the business coaching in the world. Let me make this clear. You can have all the business coaching in the world. But if you aren't at a place where you can apply that to your personal life, if you aren't at a place where you can apply that to your character, apply it to your decision making, it's going to be hard. You are going to struggle. You're going to allow the naysayers to get in your mind. They're going to get in your business. They're going to ask you the questions, and you're going to let those external opinions get to you simply because you're not grounded. And it's unfortunate, but that's why the fail rate in entrepreneurship is what it is as well. So in that, it's all about shifting your perspective. And as you begin to, I'm not saying don't name your business. I'm not saying don't check off that list. But as you check off that list and do all of the external work, it's equally as important for your journey for you to do the internal work. It's equally as important for you to strengthen your weaknesses, for you to develop your skill sets. It's equally as important for you to get strong and grounded in your decision making. You got to get ready to say no. You have to get ready to say no. You have to get ready to stand up for you. You have to get ready to have hard conversations. And if that's something that's too hard for you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. If that's something that's too hard for you, you're going to struggle in sales. You're going to struggle in your creativity because you can't make the hard decisions to simplify in your process. Like, entrepreneurship is simply a direct reflection of who you are in your life and who you are in your finances. That's it. And of course, business is a mix of your financial beliefs as well as your character beliefs. That's just like if you have, let's say you're active in your business. You're already operational. If you're operational in your business and you have employees, let's say you have a disagreement with one of your employees. You're introducing a concept and they disagree with it. Halfway through the conversation, if you're not grounded in your character, your ego will kick in and you'll be like, well, I'm the boss. It's my rules, my way or the highway. Versus being humble enough to explain to them, this is what I need. This is why I need it. I know you may not see it the way I see it, but I'm coming from an elevated perspective, and I need this. And I need you to be on board with me in this. And that's why structuring your life is important. That's why structuring your character is important. That's why aligning all of that, doing a character assessment is important. Speaking of character assessment, I'm going to share a gem. Y'all know I always give y'all my business and share what I have going on. As I share this information, I also apply it. So weeks ago, months ago, before I even thought of this live, I was at a place where I was reading this book. This book came from Five and Below. It's nothing fancy, but it's a book that teaches the different character types. And in understanding your character type, it shows your weaknesses, your strengths, and underlying weaknesses and strengths that we didn't even know we had. Something as simple as this book. Something as simple as that book can help you elevate in your intentionality in life. Who you are in your character is who you are in your life, who you are in your finances, who you are in your business. Who you are in your character is who you are to your kids. And I'm no parent. But we all know there's the types of parents that are like, do what I say because I said what I said. Or it's the type of parents that's like, okay, well, let me explain this to you so you understand the why. And a lot of that, do what I say, all of that hardship in your conversation with your child, that's simply because your character is underdeveloped. Everybody know kids are curious. Kids gonna have all the questions in the world. So you gotta be patient and you have to know how to communicate. And you see how those are characteristics in your life that affects your children, that'll affect your financial decision making, it'll affect your business decision making, or the lack thereof. Because a lot of people feel like business isn't for me, entrepreneurship isn't for me. That's the same thing as saying discipline isn't for me, structure isn't for me, growth isn't for me. It's one and the same to me. And it's all about a shift in mindset, a shift in perspective. That's it. That's the only difference between an entrepreneur and a corporate worker. A difference in perspective. That's it. We're not qualified differently. Everybody has life experience. Everybody has work experience. So because of that, take it, package it, and start a business with it. That's simple. But the success, the elevation, the growth that you'll get in your business is limited to who you are in your character. It's limited to who you are in your life. In the live that I did yesterday on Instagram, I spoke about being indecisive, running from problems, not being disciplined, being unorganized, choosing to escape life, choosing to escape when life gets tough. It reminds me of the song, she gonna run away when it gets hard. Y'all know I can't sing, but literally, she a runner, she a track star. Like literally, you can't be that person. You can't run when it gets hard. You have to handle life head on, because that's how you grow. That's how you elevate. And that's how you get more and more under your belt. So again, the bottom line of what I'm saying, who you are in your life, who you are in your character is exactly who you will be in your business. And that's why a lot of us write it off like we don't need that. That's too much for us. It's not too much for you. If you could be a parent, you could be an entrepreneur, because parenting ain't easy. And I know that's not correct grammar, but I need you guys to feel me on this. Parenting is not easy. You're walking blindly a lot of the times as a parent, because you can't always foresee all aspects of the journey. I know I was having a conversation with my brother maybe a week or so ago, and we were talking about the price of having a child. And they say pretty much to have a child is about $14,000 a year for a middle class household, I believe. $14,000 a year. So in that, if you know for sure you only make $20K in a year, you can't foresee your journey as a parent. That's evident. If you know you only make $30,000 a year, even if you make $50,000 a year, depending on your lifestyle, you won't be able to foresee all aspects of your parenting journey. So because of that, it's all about getting to the place where you develop your character to be able to handle life head on. Because the problems, just like bills roll in every month, the problems will too. Like they say, new levels, new devils. New levels, new devils. Every time you elevate, the hardship gets harder. Every time you elevate, the problems get harder. Every time you grow, every time you make a decision, there's something to counteract that same decision you just made. That's divine. That's divine. That happens on purpose. That's the flow of life. That's simply the flow of life. The moment we make a hard decision, an intentional decision, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to start my financial development journey. We make that hard decision and then you get a medical bill in the mail. Like, it's always something. However, like I say, it's how you handle that medical bill. Are you going to call them before they call you? Are you going to handle it before it handles you? Or are you going to sit around, choose to escape life, go blow $100 on going to a dinner date, knowing you could have put that $100 on that medical bill? Those are the tough decisions you have to make as a business owner. Those are the tough decisions you have to make as a CEO. So that's why entrepreneurship, business coaching, that's why some of these things are written off as unnecessary, when really they're more than necessary. They're more than necessary. How many of y'all, I know I see one person on this live, I know I always get a lot of views and they end up watching the replay or however that works. How many of y'all have made a decision? You've made a decision, you've made a choice, I want this, I want that, and it doesn't go the way you anticipate. I set a goal. I know at the top of this year, I set a goal to lose a certain number of pounds in the first 3 months. I failed epically. I failed. I've reached that number now. Yay. I've reached that number now, but I failed epically at the top of the year. And you know what I did by quarter 2? I got a coach. I got another coach. So sometimes we have to reach out for help. We have to humble ourselves and say, you know what? I can't do this alone. I cannot do this alone. Speaking of which, shout out to my assistant, because she's bomb. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for her. Cheyenne, you're the GOAT. I tell you this daily, you're the GOAT. So literally, like, nobody can get there alone. I'm an online business coach and I got all this knowledge, all this information, and I tell my assistant every day, I can't be there without her. I can't do this without her because I can only do so much in a day. I can only do so much. And that's the same as anybody. That's the same as anybody. You can convince me no different. I said what I said and I know what I know. So in that, we all need help. You can try to be that robotic person that does it all alone. After a month, you gonna crash. Your body gonna crash. Your eyes gonna get darker. That weight is gonna stop falling off. You gonna forget to drink water. You gonna forget to work out. I know when things like depression, anxiety, those things kick in and you struggle to get out the bed. You struggle to take a bath. Like, that's the trajectory of life. We make the hard decisions. We want what we want, but life is built. Life was created and designed for us to only get so far before we have to reach out and say, I need help. And that's where character development comes in, because if you're not humble enough to say, I need help, if you're not humble enough to say, I don't have time capacity to do this, then you're going to struggle. You're going to be on that bunny trail of, I want it, I'm trying to get it, but I just can't get there. But I don't want to ask for help. I'm going to get it alone, but it's going to take me 10 years. Versus if I save myself some time, came off of a little bit of money, I could have got there in a year and a half. I could have gotten there in a year and a half, tops. So because of that, it's all about perspective. And who you are in your life is who you'll be in your business. Who you are in your life, that's exactly who you will be in your business. And of course, I have like tons of business tips right here that I want to share. But I could give you guys these tips until I'm blue in the face. Until you change your character, until you elevate your decision making, these tips ain't gonna help y'all. These tips will not help you guys. And that's the catch-22 of entrepreneurship. That's the catch-22 of entrepreneurship. Developing your character. And knowing, yes, it's this business checklist that you have to make sure you check off in order to get the financial, the funding, in order to get the business credit, in order to repair your personal credit, in order to do all the things to support your business, in order to conduct a marketing strategy, sales strategies. You have these sales goals and monthly goals. You have your quarterly goals, and you have all these things pulling you in all these different directions. But you struggle in decision making because your character is struggling. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It's such a hard pill to swallow. I've coached clients this week, and we've all had hard conversations. We've all had to make tough decisions. What do we do here? How do we do this? We're faced with this. Life is giving us this, and I don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to handle it because we're not being honest with self. What do we want? Do we really want this, or do we just want it because we see it on Facebook? That's why I tell my entrepreneurs, delete Facebook and get the Business Suites app. Manage your Facebook from that Business Suites. You won't see what's on Facebook. You don't have to entertain your news feed because you don't see it. Or do what I did and get an assistant. I don't have to see it. I don't have to see it because Facebook for me can be draining if I don't watch it. But it starts with being honest with yourself. It starts with being honest with yourself. And once you get to that place where you're truly honest with you, being honest with others, that comes easy. Being honest in your business, that comes easy. Honoring the fact that you're not financially equipped personally or professionally, that's easy. That's easy. Knowing is half the battle. They always say it. Knowing is half the battle. And as a life and business coach, I know it to be true. I know it to be true. Prime example for myself. I remember back probably in December, I was on a coaching call with one of my coaches, and they pretty much told me you got too many different offers. Either bundle it all and do one offer, break it up, have 3 offers, call it a day. I did not want to make that decision. I did not. I didn't want to make that decision. So months later, quarters, I think it was about a quarter or 2 had passed, and I realized what they said to me was true. I can't have all this different stuff going on. I'm confusing folks. So in understanding the reality of the situation and being honest with myself, I was able to grow. I was able to get an assistant. I was able to develop my curriculum, develop my website. I bought coaching. I've done all these different things. And each and every time I have a conversation with the client, I'm reminded of the transformation that they get from me investing in me. Each and every conversation I have with the client, even the conversations I have with my assistant, reminds me of my growth. Reminds me of my growth. So because of that, it's up to us to support us in what we need, as well as supporting. It's up to us to support us with the things we need externally, but it's also up to us to invest in us. It's also up to us to do it for us. I can ask my coach for, hey, what do I do? I can hire a consultant and just get the answers. However, if I don't develop my character, hiring and help, that's only going to get me so far because I still have to manage it all. That's why with my finance information, you got to either buy into life coaching or business coaching. I'm not giving you the game on how to get $100,000 knowing you're not equipped to manage it. I'm adding to the problem if I do that. I'm adding to the problem. So because of that, who you are in your life is who you will be in your finances. Who you are in your life is who you will be in your business. So it's up to us to develop our character. It's up to us. It's up to us to develop our character. It's up to us to be honest and get humble. Humble ourselves. It's nothing wrong with being humble. You can be confident and be humble. You can be confident and be humble. The two can coexist. However, if they don't coexist, you'll be able to tell in your results or the lack thereof. Or the lack thereof. So that's the first half of this video. I just had to get that out. Who you are in your life is who you will be in your business. And if you don't choose to make the hard decisions to course correct your character, business will be hard. Finances will be hard. Decision making will be hard. It will, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. I know I'm at a place where I'm studying millionaires. I'm studying felons that are millionaires. I'm studying some celebrities. I'm not really into the whole celebrity thing. So if they don't have a certain character, then I'm not with it. But I'm at a place where I'm studying the folks who are in the exact same position I want to be in. So in studying them, I'm realizing we all had pitfalls. We all have pitfalls. The hardship is going to come. It's going to roll around on the first just like the bills. The hardship is going to come. However, developing your character and getting to a place where you look in the mirror and say, how did I contribute to me getting here? That's the pivotal moment. That's where you elevate. That's how you grow. That is how you grow. And if you're at a place where you're reaching for growth. I want growth. I want elevation. I have the financial knowledge. I have the business knowledge. I got the checklist. I know what I need to do. But on a day-to-day basis, if you're still struggling, it's an identity issue. It's a character development issue. It's a personal issue. Who you are in your life is who you will be in your business. Who you are in your life is who you will be in your finances. Who you are in your life is who you will be to your employees. I know for sure. I pride myself on being the best boss. I pride myself on it because I've had janky bosses. I've had bosses that were so bogus to me that literally in the midst of them being that bogus, I could not elevate. I remember working for a company. I knew I was qualified. I knew 6 months in, my boss was like, oh yeah, I'm promoting you. I just got to wait till you get to a year. So I was waiting on my year mark. I'm waiting. They bring somebody in over me and everything stops. Everything stops. My career literally got stressful. It got stressful. I gained weight. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of my mind. I knew I came from a place of being business minded. That was just me and my core. So I knew what I had, but I knew my elevation stopped. It plateaued. And in the midst of that, sometimes it's us and sometimes it's the folks around us. However, what God got for us is for us. Because he literally let time pass. He let me go through what life was like with a bad boss. Ooh, he let me see the worst of the worst. But that's how I can be the best of the best. That's how. That's how I know for sure. I don't have to worry. When it comes to my employees, my assistants, my clients, when it comes to whoever, I know for sure I'm the best of the best because I've seen the worst of the worst. However, I wouldn't know that had I not be structured in my identity. I wouldn't know that had I not be honest with myself. It was times where I wasn't eating right. I wasn't doing right. I wasn't making the right decisions. I've entertained so much low-class mess that who I used to be would be embarrassed. But today I'm like, oh, that girl dead. She don't even matter. That stuff don't matter. So because of that, however, I can't be this honest if I'm not this honest. And that's the problem. A lot of us run from honesty. We run from the fact that we got to look in the mirror and see how we contributed to us having the problems we got today? Because we all got problems. However, we all are contributions to our problems, and we know it. And we know it, but we don't want to admit it. Like they say, she a runner, she a track star. She gonna run away when it get hard. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to pass that mess down to your children selfishly. You don't want to do that. So look in the mirror and have the hard conversations with yourself. Develop your character for yourself. Do it for you. And literally, as you do it, you will elevate. Your finances will elevate. You'll begin to have you'll tap into the creativity needed to start that business. I am what? I ain't gonna tell y'all my age, but I'm a couple years from 30. I'm a couple years from 30. However, let's say you're older than that. I know for sure you're more qualified than me. You're more qualified than me. You have more life experience than me. And on top of that, if you're a parent, you way more qualified than me. I'm no parent. Close as I am is an auntie. Well, I'm a bonus mom nowadays, but close as I am is an auntie. So because of that, like, it's important. It's important that we're honest with us. Because we're all qualified to start a business. We're all qualified to bring our expertise to the marketplace, especially with the recession being on its way. Because it's really here. They just don't want to announce it. So because of that, we got to do what we got to do. And it starts with us making the hard decisions. It starts with us honoring the fact that we got the right to do this thing. It starts with us honoring the fact that we qualified. We just may not be surrounded by the folks who look at us as qualified. That's why you got to change the circle. Because who you are in your life, the folks that are around you, that's who you're going to be. That's who you're going to be. And it hurts. I'll say this. I've been that girl. This isn't my first rodeo being a full-time entrepreneur. I did it in the cosmetology industry. I've worked in a salon. I know what the salon life is like. It was cool, but I wanted more, and I knew God had more for me. So I went through a phase of doing other things. However, I know for sure I've sat on both sides of the table. I've been the full-time entrepreneur, and I've been the person who work a corporate job that sits with people of different races. So I see what some folks, I see how they look at us. I see how they look at us. And it hurts when I'm in a position where I want to defend us, but I can't. That hurts. That hurts because we are a reflection of each other. Regardless of race, we're still a reflection of each other. But we know the people in life are so simple. The people in life are so simple that they want to classify and label everything. However, we are reflections of one another. And I'm tired of being, like, embarrassed because folks are not even looking in the mirror to see how they represent themselves. You a representation of me. I'm a representation of you. We represent each other. So because of that, I can't do this without putting my people on. I can't do this without sharing the information. But I can share the information until I'm blue in the face. It's up to you to apply it. It's up to you to apply it. We can do the relay race. I can pass the baton, but unless you put one foot in front of the other, you won't win. We won't win. And that's just the reality of life today. We all are reflections of one another. All poverty folks are poverty folks. All middle class folks are middle class. All the wealthy and rich are wealthy and rich. However, regardless of that, we all start with the same thing. We all start with the same thing. Core character. Core character. We all have hardship. Life brings everybody hardship. However, how you handle that hardship is what determines which class you fall under. And that is not saying that if you're a person of poverty, then you low class. That's not what I'm saying. You could be, I've been a person of poverty with a high class mentality. That's how I'm able to have, that's why I'm qualified to have this conversation. Because I've sat at both sides of the table. I've been that middle class person that don't get an ounce of help, but still all of my tax dollars going to the poverty folks. I know what that's like too. That's why I got the right to have this conversation. That's how I have the right. Just like you guys have the right to have conversations, but we don't like to be honest nowadays, you know. Everybody doesn't like to be honest. And that's why a lot of folks are like, entrepreneurship ain't for me. Business ain't for me. If you could work that job and tell everybody they business and read them they rights, you could do it for yourself. You can. You can't convince me otherwise. If I don't believe in nothing else, I believe in the power of people. That's just me. I've always believed in the power of people. That's why I'm also that person that gets disgusted the moment somebody act out of character. I'm also that person that get disgusted and get embarrassed when somebody look like me, come from the same streets as me, or have the same problems as me. But they just choose to act, as y'all say, weird. I don't like that. I don't like it. And then the traditional in me, I grew up, of course, I come from Pentecostal church. I was in the Pentecostal church all my life. Like, I grew up, my family, they're from it. It's part of my life. It's part of my character. It's part of my core. That's definitely part of me. So because of that, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've experienced it all. I've witnessed it all. And being that person that's well-versed in the different spectrums of life, I realized that we all have problems. It's just how we choose to handle it. How we choose to handle it. So back to my notes. Do you choose to escape life? Are you that person that, oh, I just had a hard day, I'm about to go blow a bag? Or are you that person, I just had a hard day, but I'm still going to pay my bills. I'm gonna just go home and make a good dinner. I may go buy me a little something from the store, but I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm gonna make sure I handle my business, because a year from now I'll thank myself. It's all about how you handle life. It's about how you handle hardship. And hardship is meant to push you in the direction of elevation. Hardship is simply meant to push you in the direction of elevation. Prime example, I bought my LLC. I bought an LLC, and literally within a month, my corporate boss called me like, hey, I'm trying to get you moved to Kansas City, Missouri. We'll buy you out of your lease. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. I'm negotiating numbers and everything, knowing good and well I'm about to tell this lady no. I knew what my heart wanted. I knew what my heart desired. But at the end of the day, the moment you make a decision, life is going to make you stand on it. Life going to make you stand on it. Life going to pull your card and say, you for real? You serious, or you playing? You half stepping, or you not? So, and that is all about how you handle things. And who you are in your life is who you are in your business. That's why business is hard for entrepreneurs, especially if they're not grounded in their lives. It's hard for entrepreneurs even if they are grounded. Even if they are. I have millionaire life coaches. The life coach that certified me as a celebrity life coach. So in that, I have millionaire life coaches that still go through stuff. They go through stuff. They don't have it easy. They don't have it made. Like we say, new levels, new devils. That's a thing. That's a thing. It's just up to us and how we handle it. It's up to us and how we choose to let life handle us, or we handle it. Do you escape from your problems, or do you face it and, as they say, square up? Square up. And who I am nowadays, I can't do anything but fight. That's all I know. I can't do anything but fight for what I want. And in doing that, my life has changed. My life has changed. I got the life. Literally, I got the life. This home office, y'all see my office? It's beautiful. I will show y'all my desk. Y'all see my notes, my wall, my this. To my right is my printer, my, what's this? It's like it's a 5-tier stand, and it has all my office supplies on it. I got my cute little green chairs. Y'all see my accent color is green. So literally, this beautiful office you see me in, this was a hair room. A hair room. I love folks. Doing hair ain't my thing no more. I'll lose my character if I keep doing hair. That's why I stopped. Y'all see how my tone changed? Yeah. I'll real life lose everything I fought for if I keep doing hair, because people nowadays are different. So in that, you got to be honest. What do you want? What God got for you is for you. The money that you want, he got for you. The house you want, he got that for you. That car is yours. That credit is yours. Those credit limits are yours. However, it's up to you to develop yourself to be that person that can maintain it beyond you getting it. And that's why the journey gets hard, because you have to make sure everything you get, you can sustain. Because a lot of times if we get it prematurely, we'll lose it or not do right with it. Prime example, I remember before I got my assistant, I knew I needed help. However, I wasn't as organized as I needed to be. So I got my assistant, and the first couple weeks, I'm like, I don't even know what to tell her to do. Like, but that's a prime example of you got to plan like you got it till you get it. That's number one. And number two, you have to be intentional about getting ahead of the curve. You got to be intentional about, okay, I know I want these things. Let me do the research to see what people with these things, what their character is like, what their discipline is like, what their structure is like, how they run their households. What do they do? What's their self-care routine like? What are their eating habits like? Are they caffeine freaks like me? If so, how do they counteract that? Because you could do it wrong and gain calories, gain the weight from drinking the high calorie coffee creamer. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. And definitely, like I say, I'm a caffeine freak. But because of that, I go sugar-free on my drinks now. When I drink water, I don't just drink water. I drink lemon water. And when I start my day, I start with working out. I start with doing something to feed my body, so that as soon as I go to my being that caffeine freak, it don't hurt me. It don't hurt me. It's all about being honest with yourself. And honestly, I know I am not myself without coffee. Don't call me before I get my coffee, because I won't be friendly. That's just the reality. And I know that. So in knowing that, what do? I prioritize my self-care, my soul care, and my coffee. That's what I do. And it works for me. It does. It works for me. So it's all about being honest with you and finding what works for you, what works with you as you grow in your journey, because who you are in your life is who you will be in your business. That's why a lot of folks are like, entrepreneurship ain't for me. That's a whole lie. That's a whole lie. I'm here to tell you that is a lie. I'm not gonna say it's my grandmother used to have a saying. I ain't gonna say it, but it's a lie. That's what I'm gonna say. It's a whole lie. We are who we are, and we have the right to want what we want. However, you got to be honest with yourself and say, I want this thing. I want this thing, and I'm going to put in the work to make sure not only I get it, that I can maintain it. That's what it's about. So, I've rambled. Really, I really did have some stuff to come on here to tell y'all. I really did. So first, I want to talk about business operations, and running a business, just the things. And I've had some conversations lately. I've really been diving into market research for like the business coaching industry. And in diving into the market research, I now have a clear indication of what the concerns are for people who they see us talk about business coaching, they see us talk about life coaching, and they have all these concerns, which are valid. So I'm here to shed some light on those concerns. I'm here to shed light. So when it comes to business coaching, I know a lot of y'all have worked a job of some sort. You know, you have your manager or supervisor, then you have their boss, and then you have their boss. So what I do as a business coach, I'm like that top boss. I help my clients. I sit on the sidelines and coach the plays, and I see through the gaps of areas of opportunity. And I just sit on the sidelines and call the plays to help them meet their profit goals, beat their deadlines, meet their sales goals. I help them with hiring. I help them with delegating. I help them with come up with systems and processes and procedures to help them not work in their business, but work on the business. Because those are two different things. What is working in the business? Working in the business is checking the emails, counting the inventory, not hiring, emails, inventory, seeing what products, what additional inventory has to be bought, placing the orders. Those are all things I used to do. Doing the end of day paperwork, comparing the debit transactions to the actual transactions that show up in your system. It's so much footwork that has to be done on the actual operational side of the business. For a lot of my business clients, they have packaging orders, filling invoices, confirming those invoices, making sure the numbers add up. I can go on and on. So really, there's working in the business and there's working on the business. Working on the business is developing the strategies. What's your marketing strategies? What's your quarterly goals? What's your sales goals? You may work with the products. You may work with the offers. Elevate your price points, things like that. So you have working in the business and you have working on your business. And that's a lot of the problem. A lot of us are stuck doing both. And we are not supposed to do both. You're not supposed to be working in the business and on the business. It's supposed to be one of the two. And let's say you are doing both. That's where you start to hire help. And when you hire help, you hire the folks that are going to help you work in the business. They're going to work in the business so you can work on it. So really, business coaching is just meant to support my clients and actually being able to position themselves to work on their business and not in their business. They make the hard business decisions. For example, I have a lot of clients that are like, I want this elevated price point a month. I want to make $10,000. I want to make $20,000. I have some really high ticket clients that are making like $50,000. So in that, with them having all these different price points, they have all these different revenue goals. They have to make sure their price points align with the revenue goals. Let's say you're trying to make $10,000 in a month. $100 product is not going to help you as much as $1,000 product, if that makes sense. So in being a business coach, again, I support my clients in making the hard decisions to help them get their goals accomplished faster. That's all business coaching is. And to correlate that to life, it's the same thing with life coaching. It's the exact same thing with life coaching. With life coaching, we have our character goals. We have our identity goals. We may have our fashion goals, our weight goals, our family goals, our finance goals. We have all these goals that we want in our lives. However, who we are in our character is what's going to get those goals to us the fastest. So it's really about being on the outside, looking into their situation and helping them personalize their decision making and align it with who they are. Align it with who they are and who they want to be and how they want to be. Align it with who they have to be in order to get them where they want to go. That's for business and life coaching. So in that, it's really, again, the same thing as in the corporate world. You know, you have that top boss that tells the other bosses, that tells the supervisors, that tells the workers. That's who I am. I'm that top-notch board of director person that says, hey, you want to make $25,000 in this month, you got to change up some things. You have to change your marketing. You have to change your execution style. You can't be marketing on a 50% when you want 100% of what you asking for. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So how are you going to turn this into actionable steps starting today? That's where I come in. That's where I come in. So business coaching is honestly that's like the thing for me. That's all I can say. That's the thing for me, because the past 3 years of my life, I was working a corporate job. I was that underground person that did what that top boss. I was that person that did what that boss told me to do. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I was that person that did what the boss told me to do. But I went through good bosses and bad bosses. At the end of my career, I had a good boss. She was pretty all right. But I've suffered from bad bosses. So because of that, I love being a business coach, because not only can I support my clients, not only can I help them reach their goals and exceed their goals, I could also show them what real support looks like in their business journey. Because it was times working in corporate, I was that young brown girl that led the region, and that didn't make folks happy. I'm going to say that. I was the young brown girl that led the region, and that didn't make folks happy. So because of that, there was a lack of support for me. And that's why I love being a business coach, because I'm able to counteract everything I did not receive in my corporate career. And I love it. And I love it. Truly. I love it. So in that, I'm just here to share a couple things. First, who you are in your life is who you will be in your business. Second, it would be business coaching can definitely help you guys meet your profit goals way faster. It can help you align your price points with where you want to be, what you want to be, who you want to be. It can help you meet your sales goals, meet your profit goals, actually create formulas that you can share with your team, so that all of you guys are on the same page with the execution of the day-to-day basis, of the day-to-day operations. We all need that. And sometimes we can be so knee-deep in our business that we don't see areas of opportunity. We may think the area of my opportunity is marketing, when really you market well, you just don't sell. You don't have sales conversations. You don't have a conversation with your clients, informing them how they can make a buy-in, how they can make a purchase from you. So having a business coach can support you in making your dreams your reality in your business. Having a business coach can support you in developing your character to being that CEO that makes the hard decisions. That's what business coaching is about. And business coaching is definitely what the corporate businesses do, what the corporate companies do. They just have a different name for it. They call it regional directors, district directors, general managers, all of that. It's the same thing. I've been a general manager. A general manager is the person that manages the operation and makes sure everybody else is doing their part, while he or she does his part to make sure it all gets them to where they're going. It gets them the revenue goals. It gets them the sales goals. It gets them the clients. It gets them the conversion rates. It gets them the retention. Because we don't only want to get new customers. We want to make sure we keep the ones we got. So having a business coach can support you in that. Having a business coach can support you in just your decision making, as far as which products do I roll out, which services do I roll out. Having a business coach can support you in knowing where to hire, where to delegate. It can support you in positioning yourself to work on your business and not in the business. That's what business coaching is about. That's all it's about. So I think I've done my due diligence. It is 4:09. I am halfway through my workday, and I still got things to do. I see there's a few people on here. Do we have any questions at all? I'd love to answer some questions or concerns. Of course, if you end up catching this on the replay, please feel free to DM me. Feel free to comment whatever questions or concerns you may have. as far as your business, where to start, how to sift through your problems so that you can actually make the important decisions that'll kill two birds in one stone. You may not have a marketing issue. You may have a decision-making issue. You may not have an offer issue or a product service issue. You may have a decision-making issue. And having a business coach can support you in making those decisions. So, in that, I think that's all I got for now. For now, I may pop in a little bit later. The rest of my day consists of, I have to package an order for my clients. I do send them the curriculum in the mail, so I'm going to send that out to one of the clients. I have ink, so I'm going to change the ink in my printer. I'm gonna package an order. I did place an order for a few items on my inventory, so I'm doing that. And the rest of my day consists of making business decisions, working on the business. That's it. That's it. Literally. And with being an entrepreneur, like, you have the right to hire and delegate so that you can be that person that makes the hard decisions to help you guys streamline success faster. That's what being a CEO is about. That's what being a CEO is about. Being able to be that person that knows this decision I could probably share this responsibility elsewhere so I can do something else, and we kill two birds in one stone. That's what decision making is about. That's what being a CEO is about. And that's why it's important to hire and delegate as you go, because it'll support you in being able to work on your business. And if you're hiring people, of course you have your contractors, and then you have the hired employees with a salary. If you're guaranteeing somebody a salary, you definitely need to be making sure you're working on your business and not in it. If not, a year from now you're gonna have problems. 6 months from now you may have problems. So it's important to, if you need help, hire help. And if you need coaching, hire coaching. If you need it, get it. You have to support yourself in what you need in your business in order to stay a business owner. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. And who you are in your life is exactly who you will be in your business. Who you are in your life is who you will be in your finances. Finances is a part of business. So it's important for you to go back to the drawing board, develop your character so that it overflows in your finances and in your business journey. So with that, I am Cornisha. I'm a life coach and a business coach. And again, I love to support my clients in managing their lifestyles, finances, and businesses so they can attain a 6-figure salary working from home. I am going to get back to it. And with that, I will check in with y'all later. Mwah.